I wanted to introduce to you some things that still have to be done before the semester is over. The biggest thing is the integrative project. I gave an example of an integrative project, and there are guidelines written about the integrative project. I've posted them on Moodle. And what I'd like you to do is to create some sort of a visual presentation. It could be any sort of method that works good for you that you can post. And it needs to be 4 to 6 minutes long, something like that. And what that presentation is doing is addressing a particular problem that is either in your major, in the area where you would like to work, or it could be a social issue that's something that interests you. So, like for example, the issue that I dealt with is related to my work, but also is a social issue which has to do with hatred towards other religions and how we respond to that, and particularly towards Islam. Well, so that's the example. You can see that it's posted on Moodle. And when you identify that problem, state it in a sentence or two, 1 or 2 sentences, and then give the context for the problem. What is it that makes this a problem? What's going on that this is difficult? Um, and then on the third step, I would like you to do is once you've identified the problem, once you've stated a little bit of the context of the problem, then spend some time using the creation, fall, redemption, new creation motif to analyze the problem. And you can see how I go about that in that example that I give. Mine's fairly detailed, but I think it gives you the idea that I'm after. Then once you've got that analysis of the problem done, then excuse me, I'd like you to state what you would do differently in light of that worldview issues. So, is there a different behavior you would have? Is there a way that you would address this problem in a particular way that would be helpful for you or for others in the area in which you work? At the end of that, I'd like you to write a 150-word summary of your entire project. That's a couple paragraphs, something short. Now, what I'm thinking of is that I'm going to put in this is for next week. I'm speaking to you on the day after Easter. What I would like to do is put in a forum where you can just upload the link. So make this some sort of video format. I use Screencast-O-Matic with a PowerPoint, and then I can just put the link up. I transferred it to Box, and then from Box you can copy a link to the forum, and then for others to view it, they would have to copy and paste that link, and then they could see it. Unless you have a better way to go about this, because I'm not altogether familiar with how to do some of these things, some things like this online. Maybe you have a better suggestion for how we could get that to go. And if you do, feel free to let me know, and I'll let everybody else know. So that's for a week from this coming Thursday. Again, I'm speaking to you on the day after Easter. Then also what's coming up for this week is I'm going to have an interview with 2 colleagues of mine, and then I want them to talk about their sense of calling. So sometime this week I'd like you to listen to that interview that we're going to have, and we're going to record it on Zoom, and I'll put the link on the website. I won't be able to get that until it will be late on Monday, the 14th, actually it's the 13th of April. But it will be available for you later this week. And then I'll put a little forum for you just to respond to, react, 2 or 3 sentences responding to something that you saw in that interview. Then also a thing happening this week would be a look at the vocational discernment exercise that's posted for Thursday, the 16th of April. On there I have some guidelines about direct calling, and we're going to talk about direct calling in that interview. But then a vocational discernment exercise for Thursday, and that's also on that same handout that's posted in Moodle. And then at the end of that, I would like you to do an interactive paper. What you could do instead of an interactive paper responding to the books is do a summary of your vocational discernment process. Give a reaction to it. How did it feel when you did it? What did you like or appreciate? What didn't you think was really all that helpful? That could be a substitute for an interactive paper, about 150, 200 words, again, to respond either to the two chapters, chapter 2 and 4, out of Calling and Clarity, or respond to the vocational discernment exercise that you'll find in the class notes. Well, wish you God's blessing. This is an unusual Easter, unusual season of the year. We're still hopeful. Christ has risen, and that gives a foundation for a new life, new creation that's coming. We look forward to God's help. God's blessing to you.